'cause I'm leaving it behind me.
Yeah.
Good morning. Come on, me. Something new inside me.
Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome.
Hear the birds singing.
You're welcome. Here.
Get up high. It's a good morning. Wake up to a brand new day. This morning, birds singing. Come on,
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for having me here. Right. Good morning, everybody. Yay. All right. Well, we are so excited to invite you here. All right, with our fearless family. Brady Bunch. Everybody. There you go. So I can throw feedback. You guys can hear me? Okay. So welcome. Here's your fearless family here and ready for you bright and early. Thank you for joining us. Congratulations for being here. I'm just so honored to have us all together because it's been I was telling the girls, we may be in the one virtual room, but we haven't been in a room together, all of us, in a year. And that's pretty crazy how much time has passed and what this year has looked like and changed. But it is so special to be here with all of you. And all of you watching, we know you're here with us as well. So let us know you're here. Put in the comment section you're here. I think it's kind of like the Brady Bunch, right? We're like, there it is, Brady Bunch this way. I'm loving it. I'm loving spending some time with you. And thank you for waking up early because you know what? That's what leaders do. Leaders rise up and wake up. And every time I have gone to a Mary Kay in-person event or even virtual event this early in the morning on a Saturday, it set my day for success. It started me off in a way that nothing else could because only Mary Kay women gather looking this good on a Saturday morning at 8 a.m. You might be in your pajamas, but we're looking good for you as you set off your day. So yeah, you see all the comments.
Hey, Marty, can you just see if Christine jumped into the backgrounds? And
I don't know what happened. Sorry, got excited and I went away. Got excited I went away. I'm back. But we're so happy that you're here today. We hope that this morning will be empowering for you. We hope that you're going to get your cup filled. We pray that this time would be your time before you do whatever you got going on today with your family, for your business, for your personal life, that this would be a time for you. So congratulations for also earning this. I feel like you might be wondering, like, how did I even get in here? How did I even get chosen for this? Are you sure? We wanted to get us all together really in these final 4 months of the Mary Kay year, which we're about to approach. And I want you to know that you were hand selected. You were hand selected. Whether you have decided that leadership is for you, or maybe you're not quite even sure if that's something that you are committed to or interested in, the leader that selected you, your director, we see qualities in you that make you a great leader. We see you, we notice you, and we want to invite you to step into the next level, whether you are a brand new consultant and not even anywhere near red, and you have your eye on that red jacket or not even sure what that even means, whether you are about to be a red or maybe you are red and you want the next level. We want you here, and this is to create a sense of urgency that, hey, it is time to see yourself as a leader that we see in you. And you all bring your different strengths, your different talents, and we want to include those and invite you to be part of this. These are the final 4 months. March 1 will be the final 4 months of the Mary Kay year. And some of you have never experienced what that even means. Some of you are so new that you've only experienced Mary Kay since COVID, and it's all been virtual. Maybe you've been to a seminar before. And if you have, let us know in the chat because we know that's such a special experience that stays with you forever. But these final 4 months are unique. They are different, but in our world, we are in a unique time. And this, as our president has said over and over again, this is a unique time in Mary Kay. And we have a unique opportunity to spread love, to bring connection to women, to provide an opportunity. Women are looking for independence. They're looking for personalized service. They're looking for it to fill their beauty needs. People are still in this in-between love. Hey, I'm not really going out there fully living life full out yet at the capacity I used to. and I'm still in between this virtual midway world. And you know what? You are needed. Your joy is needed. What I have seen in these 10-minute appointments with women is that they have been looking for and longing for that individual appreciation, to be noticed, to be valued, to feel important. And that's what we do best in Mary Kay. So there are women out there that are just waiting for you to have the courage to say yes, courage to reach out, because every time I've ever added some of the best women to my team is when I had a bigger vision, when I stepped out of myself and set a goal for myself and my future, but it always included others. That is the beautiful thing of Mary Kay. And when we set a goal to become more, to be more, to stretch to more, it always invites others. So we invite you because we have a vision for these next 4 months. Your director, your leader has a vision of where her team is going, where we are all going in the next few months. And we want to invite you not just to be somebody on the side of the stands, right? The sidelines, but somebody who is an active participant, somebody who is going to be all in, somebody who wants to leave their mark on this unique seminar year, who wants to not just watch things happen, but make things happen. I know in the beginning of Mary Kay's book, her autobiography, she talks about the kinds of women, that there are the kind of people in the world, people who watch things happen, the people who don't even know anything happen, the people that, don't even do anything, right? But the people who make things happen are such a unique group of women. And that is you, the women who make things happen. Because if not, let's be honest, we would not be here on a Saturday morning at 8 a.m., right? No matter how you showed up in your pajamas, luckily we can't see you, but we're glad that you're here, and we are inviting you to step into more, especially because we have an upcoming rally on March the 6th, our first ever virtual driven rally. And if you've never been part of one, we used to gather driving from all over to come meet in one space, to come together and celebrate the leaders, celebrate you, gather in community, share vision, and grow. And this March 6th, we'll be celebrating all new red jackets and beyond. Actually, I have the flyer here so I can share with you guys so you can see it. Let me share so you can check it out, because I want to make sure you guys get excited about this event. Here it is, March 6th, 8:30 a.m. Do you see a trend? Do you see a theme? Leaders rise up. We wake up early. We are ready to grow. And look at this. So when you, again, so we're going to start with reds in qualifications. We're going to recognize those women who are reds in qualifications with 1 to 2 new team members. You've got time. You've got 2 weeks to step it up, 2 Saturdays from now to step into either a red in qualification. But guess what? If you are a brand new red, we will be debuting the brand new Star Team Builders with 3 active members and beyond. And guess what? Each level will be recognized. What if you show up as an elite, as a team leader, Ontario car driver, brand new DIQ? I don't know. I know for me, I always wanted my national to notice what I was doing. I worked hard. Oh, I'm back. I worked hard to really put myself to stand out. I wanted Daisha to know me. I wanted Ari to see me. I wanted them to know that I was an up and coming rising leader. And I knew that by stepping out in those positions that they would notice me. And so I want to invite you to we noticed you, we see you, but to stand out that day, that Saturday morning, and be one of our new Reds in qualification, new Reds, or beyond, which is what this has been all about. So I hope you've been enjoying your Friday training. So far, we've heard from Griselle on Fridays about how, what are the opportunities in front of you for leadership? So in case you're like, I don't even know, I'm so new, I showed up today not even knowing, you can go back into our Facebook group, Ignite the Leader Within You, and see what it requires. Like, what are the different positions look like? What is possible? What is capable? Where can you grow to? Because if you don't know, you can't grow to it, right? Growth is intentional. And then Lisa did an excellent job really talking about how to balance it all. That work-life balance, creating a schedule and a routine that works for you. And then Mari yesterday talked about the sharing opportunity, why to share, how to share, the importance of sharing, especially in a time like this. Well, with no further ado, you've got some power-packed morning in front of you. Thank you for spending time with us. You're going to hear from each and every single one of our leaders this morning, as in 5 minutes, they're going to break down for you why they chose leadership at any level. I want you to see from any level, whether it was to become a red, to become a director and beyond. See, as you hear their stories, I want you to see who you connect with, which story resonates with you, because we all have a different story. And also they're going to share their concrete tips. What are some things they did? when they made that decision, that leadership was for them what they did different to get somewhere different, because we all wanted more. But it's the things that we do that take us to a new place. So with that said, I know Mai's going to be my helper and spotlighting we're going to bring everybody to the screen here. And yay, hold on. Bring everybody up here so we can see our fabulous ladies. And there we go. There we go. So we're going to start. We have here we go. So first we're going to start with Lisa. Let's highlight Lisa. Here we go, Lisa. Oh, you're muted.
Welcome, everybody. So excited that you guys are here early this Saturday morning with us. And I'm excited to share my little story and my tips of strategy on how I did it. So for me, when I made the decision to move into red, because that might be a lot easier for you guys to relate to, because that's where you are right now, is I made this decision because I wanted to be in the space of Gloria Mayfield Banks. We were running for our fall retreat, and she was a guest speaker. She was a guest coming in, and we would get to sleep over with Gloria Mayfield Banks. So I was like, what do I need to do to get in that room? Because I knew in order for me to be the best version of myself and the best leader I could be, is I needed to stretch outside my comfort zone and put myself in an environment where I could learn more, grow more, and see more. So the great thing about Mary Kay is there's opportunities for everybody everywhere. But you will see as you move up the career path, there's just different opportunities and different doors that open for you. And I was like, why not get as much free training as I can get? And there's just more opportunity as you move up the career path to learn new things and to be in the space of more people who have done it before you. So that was really, I was like, okay, if I want to get there, how do I do it? So I knew that because my life was a busy life, right? Working a full-time job. At the time, I was just a newlywed, and I was like, you want to spend time with your husband. And I was like, how do I make this all work? So I knew there was three things that were the foundation for me to move up. The first one was show up. That was my first one, was to show up to my Mary Kay meetings weekly, to show up with my sales director, to show up to the rallies, okay? So showing up, obviously now it's not so physical, it may be virtual, but I had a strategy to speak with my sales director, whether it was daily, every other day, but it was a set schedule to check in, to be accountable for my business so that I was actually progressing forward. Okay, so my first tip was really just show up. I knew that. And the second thing was I needed to work with a little bit of urgency because there's a deadline here. So I was like, how can I work urgently? And that was really just setting the schedule to touch my Mary Kay business every day. Now, the reality is every day, maybe I just had 5 minutes. Maybe I had 10 minutes that day, or maybe I had an hour, but I wanted to work urgently daily to work towards that goal. Okay, so setting that schedule was super important to me. And going back to showing up with my sales director, it held me accountable to make sure I was doing what I promised myself I would do to get to where I wanted to go. And then in those moments of working urgently, my strategic focus was, what can I do right now? I understood and I gave myself the grace that I may not be able to get everything done. But what's the most important thing for me to get done right now to move my business forward? Okay, so I didn't get hung up on all the things that I didn't do. I just focused on what can I do right now. And that just might be like, this is the one person I have to call today because we did a sharing appointment yesterday, or this is the one person I have to follow up because we never did her second appointment. But really just focusing on what I could do and getting rid in my mind of what I wasn't doing. Okay, so my mindset shifted to what can I do, okay, and what am I doing? Not, living in the past and letting those moments kind of crowd me because I just didn't have time. I had to work urgently in the moments that I had, and be focused on being connected in my Mary Kay bubble with my meetings and with my sales director to move forward. And those are really the things that not only got me into Red Jacket, but those are really the same things that have moved me up in the career path, is just being super specific, focused, urgent, and always, always, always staying connected to my sales director. So I'm excited. Now you guys are going to get to hear from Mercy on her journey.
Well, hello everyone. Good morning. Thank you for being here today. Lisa, thank you for sharing that. That was amazing and wonderful tips that you gave. And basically, our baseline is like what Lisa mentioned. But we have sometimes some different obstacles, some different a different road that we all take. We get all to the same place we want to get to, but we all have different a different road. So I want to share with you ladies. I've been involved in my Mary Kay business for 8.5 years. I'm super excited, still have the same excitement, still learning. And this virtual world has been very challenging for those who are out there have been struggling also with the virtual world and have that doubt whether they can get there or not, or reach whatever goal you have or not. You can. And it's being consistent and staying connected. I was connected also to my sales director, which Christine. It's amazing, and I came as a consultant. And for those of you who really, when you came in, you really did not have a vision of being anything more than just a consultant, and you really did not think or believe that you could get or step into Red Jacket or beyond. I was one of them. I was one of them, and I did not believe I can get there. I did not believe I can get there because I was used to being told that by a boss that I worked for 4 years that I'm a failure and I would never succeed in anything and I'm no good in nothing. So I never believed in myself. And I started believing myself or pretending to believe in myself that I could reach higher grounds when Christine started believing in me. It only took one person. One person. Okay. So when she started seeing vision that I can get there, I was like, how could she see that? I don't see that. I'm not good for that. But it was basically fear. And the fear that I had, if that's what you're going through, that's an obstacle that you have to jump. How do you jump that obstacle? By staying connected, what Lisa mentioned, by staying consistent, by holding yourself accountable. Get a running partner with you. Reach out to your sales director for accountability, for coaching. It's okay. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to fall down and get right back up. Lord knows we have done that hundreds of times. That's how we've learned. That's how we learn how to stay strong. That's how we learn how to get a stronger grip on the ground. All right, and think of what Red Jacket, what that position means to you. What does it really mean to you? You might say, well, Mercy, how could I think that if I don't believe I can get there? I mean, just start thinking about your dream again, about your goals again. And there will be obstacles, but you're going to jump them. And believe me, you're going to grow. Your personal growth and what you're going to be able to teach others that come into your unit, it's going to be amazing what you have for them. So I stay in the space. Waking up here early in the morning, be in the space of those who want to move forward. The belief starts growing within you. The belief starts growing inside of you that you could actually get there. Yeah, you didn't have a boss that told you for 4 years you won't amount to anything, you're a failure. But you have maybe other certain beliefs that you probably heard from other people or put them upon yourself when you saw you were not able to do things. So I immediately wanted to get to Red Jacket and then DIQ and then director. From that point, I started running and I started being more intentional and working with more of a consistency. Yes, there are things I had to do. I had things to do at home, other priorities, but you know what? It was just a short-term sacrifice for a long-term rewards. Okay. And it's just a rewarding feeling when you just get there. I was even doing facials in bathrooms in my job, even in my car, to get those 30 faces a month. I was doing, and I was doing 30 faces, 30 faces, 30 faces, wherever I could, wherever I could. And now, oh my God, now we're virtual, ladies. It's even easier to do. It's even easier to do. I know you have nothing to really to compare it to if you have never been in Mary Kay the way it used to be before, and it's hard to compare it. But just imagine doing all this in person. Okay, imagine, and more. All right, with a full-time job, and if you have kids at home, it's like, Calgon, take me away. But what is it? What is it that you really want? What is in your heart? Believe in it. Change your mindset that you can do. You can be there. And I know that once you do that and you implement all other things that are involved in order to be there, to stay focused, to show up for everything, that is your juice. We are surrounded with so many other negative things and doubt. Sometimes you doubt yourself. "Oh, I can't. I don't think I can do this," or cancel it. Cancel it. As soon as you start thinking that way, you need to cancel those thoughts, those negative thoughts, and get your pink juice. Drink your pink lemonade. Get involved around those women who are moving forward, who have a vision, if in case you cannot find one yet. Okay? And you might not know what's happening, what's going on, but just follow those ladies, follow your director, follow the pink bubble. And that's a decision I made to get into my red jacket, and it's just taking those steps. All right. And then from that point on, it's just being persistent, consistent. And there's no other way that I wanted to just, like, you know, um think of going back. um I had my goals. I'm a single mom. I have my 25-year-old daughter. I take care of my 88-year-old mom that lives with me. I'm going to turn 62 years old in 3 years, and I want to be able to retire. So that's my next step. I want to retire before 65. So, but just I hope that what I said and what I said here today and what Lisa has mentioned, and I'm going to be introducing our next director speaker soon, but I hope something resonates inside of you, and you really take it to heart, because you really can do this, ladies. And I encourage you, and I thank you for being here. And now I'm going to introduce to you my other sister director. Griselle is going to be speaking to you next. Thank you, ladies.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome for being here with us. Um, wow, mic drop. Lisa and Mercy took over. We're done. Let's go home. Let's go get our cafecito. This is it. You guys did amazing. But I want to share that when I started my Mary Kay business, I started because I wanted the sisterhood. And also, I knew I was going to get laid off in 2016. And I called Christine because I heard great things about her. And I wanted a leader to really push me. And I'm grateful and blessed to have the Fearless family. When I joined Mary Kay, I just like Lisa, because Lisa and I started about the same time. I ran to Red and I shared because I wanted to get in Red to be in the space of Gloria Mayfield Banks. Okay. And that was like the goal as to why I wanted to be in Red. But being in the space of top leaders made me realize that I wanted more than Red. I wanted to lead other women to enjoy and to be blessed and to be inspired by these top directors. And we are blessed because $1 million type director is our leader, is building this Fearless National area, right? So I wanted to be more in her space. And as I was working my business, I still was like, do I get a job? Should I apply for a job? Because then I did get laid off. But I'm like, why? I didn't want to work for someone else and work for their goals and dreams. I wanted to work for my goals and dreams. And my goal in my little family is, many of you know, I'm a single mom. My daughter Jayla is 12 and she's looking up to me. And I wanted to show her that she can be what she wanted. And I wanted to be a leader, Mary Kay. But I was working in my comfort zone. I was only talking to the people I was comfortable with and only working with the referrals from the people that I was comfortable with, right? I had a chicken list. I had women that I was working with in corporate America, but I'm like, they're already a director in that company, or they're already, like, I didn't want to, because they didn't need Mary Kay. And I learned in this journey that it's it's not what we think they need, because when we don't share the opportunity, we're being selfish. We're not sharing, we're being selfish. So I didn't want to be selfish. I didn't want to be a leader that is selfish, or I didn't want to be a leader that I'm telling my people share, 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 but I wasn't sharing. I had to share with everybody. And then there was a time that I had to work intentional. Like, I had to work, because now it was like 2 years in, I was still in red, in and out of red, things happen. And then I was getting like comfortable where I was at, and I was just like, I'll just do with the sales. And then I realized that no, I want more and I deserve more. My daughter deserves more. My daughter is my why. She's not my excuse. And we deserve more. And she was like, Mom, you deserve a free car. Let's get a free car. And that's when I started working intentional and seeing what I was doing in the past and how can I change it to get other results. When we're working the same way, we're going to get the same results. So you have to think about, how can I change my work ethic to get the results that I want? So 2019, I made the decision that it's either I become a sales director and work my business as a business, work my business with intention, work it with not being afraid, and having that narrow focus of what is the skill I need to learn. Do I need to learn the booking skill? Then you know what? I'm going to be in the space of women that master it. Mari would tell you that I've called her and we went to Panera and we booked together. Like, I intentionally said, who is the booking machine? That's who I'm going to be in the space with. Christine is like a master of sharing. So 1 month I did about 32 faces and I recruited one. Well, Christine recruited one because we did the dream session. And I drove to Cuba. You guys know I live by the border of Broward County and Palm Beach County. And I said, I'm driving to Cuba. So I drove to Christine's house and was there for a few hours just watching her. And she even heard me book, heard me share, and she tweaked how some of the words that I was saying. So like Lisa and Mercy have said, you have to be in the space of women that you want to change places with. You need to be in the space of your director. Because we've been there, right? And we learn from our leaders and we're passing it on. Mary Kay say pass it on. So we're passing it on to you, but you have to be willing to be in the space of directors. I was always calling Christine like once a week, doing my check-in, and I was working when you're in DIQ, that's when you know really what the word intentional means, okay? Because now when you enter DIQ, you have a deadline. But start now building that habit, because it's a habit, and doing your weekly plan sheet, but also working your business and creating that habit and learning your full circle, each step, and mastering it. But how can you learn that? By following your leader, following the women that are doing well with that, and you want to like, hey, how do you do it? What are the words you use? What are the scripts? Practice it. Record yourself. I recorded myself many times, sent it to Christine or to my fearless director to get feedback. You're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. Okay. And what is your non-negotiable goal?
Your non-negotiable goal has to be a goal that fires you to go on to the next step. And don't be afraid to speak with women that you feel like, I don't think they're going to say yes. Ask them anyway. Don't make the decision for them. There's so many women right now looking to be blessed, looking to feel important, looking for an opportunity, and you have it right now. What moved me from red to DIQ was a non-negotiable goal that I am not going to work for someone else. Like, if this works for other women, I can do it. And I did not want to work for someone else and ask for permission. Let me tell you, I'm grateful that I made that decision, because in 2020, in March of 2020, we all parents got a phone call that the school was closing. And I am grateful to be my own boss, because I didn't have to ask a boss to say, I got to leave early and pick up my daughter. I just picked up my daughter, and she stayed with me the entire year 2020 while I'm running my business. Okay, so I am grateful, because you never know what's going to happen in the future. So make the decision now. Now, what is your future self going to thank you for the decision you made today? So just like the girls before me, and I'm sure the girls are going to follow me, okay, you want to do a non-negotiable goal. You want to work intentionally. You want to be in the space of your directors. And hey, look how many of us, fearless directors right here. You guys are blessed to be part of the future national area they're building. And we all want you to be a part of it. You want to be in this room with us, okay? So I hope I blessed you. For the single ladies out there, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Do it for your kids. Do it for yourself. Dream big, okay? So, all right, my next sister fearless is Mari.
Yay. Oh my goodness. I love all this like goodness. Well, I'm excited that I get to share with you today. And you know, one of the things that I was thinking about as I heard everybody's stories, that we do truly each have a totally different story. And when I started my Mary Kay business, I did not have a vision for leadership, because I really didn't have much of a vision for my business at all. I was looking to dabble into this and make some extra cash and have some fun and support a great friend. I started it'll be 9 years. I can't even believe I'm saying that. 9 years I started my business in May. And I joined right at the end of Christine's $1 million year. And I was part of the Fearless Dreamers, just like many of you. And it was in that process of just kind of sprinkling this in for fun that I caught a vision of something so much bigger. See, I'm one of those people that I love to belong. I'm a love and belonging kind of girl, but I'm also a freedom and flexibility kind of girl. And I caught the vision for two things in Mary Kay that really just inspired me to move up. One was that I could have a great place to belong in Mary Kay. I loved the sisterhood of women. It reminded me of my sorority in college. It reminded me of just being surrounded by positive, like-minded women, and I loved that. And I wanted to be a part of even bigger kind of elevated thinking. And so that was one of my main reasons. I saw those red jackets at my first meeting. I rented a car. I lived in Washington, D.C. I'll never forget. Christine said, you got to go to this meeting. And I rented a car because I didn't have a car, drove 45 minutes to this meeting, changed in the bathroom, and I saw those red jackets at the front of the room. And I was like, I want to be them. And a week later, I came back and I was a red jacket. And I'm sharing that with you, not to brag at all, but to tell you that I caught a vision for what it could be. And from that moment forward, there's really three things that I think served me really well. First was I did what I was told. And I'm one of those people that I'm like, if you give me the play-by-play, I can do that. I can follow the next step. And I was too loyal to quit. And honestly, I just didn't doubt the process, because Christine had just come off her best year ever, her best month ever. And I literally went around thinking to myself, she made $33,000 in commissions. They paid her over $1,000 a day. She knows what she's doing. Why would I ever doubt what she's asking me to do? She's had the success that I desire. And so I trusted my leaders. And so I did what she told me. And she said, all right, now you're going to make some booking calls and you're going to book 30 faces for this weekend. And so I booked 30 faces for that weekend that she came up. She said, okay, now we're going to book dreams, interviews. We called them interviews back then. And we're going to interview these women. And so I booked interviews and I did what I was told. And each step of the way, I didn't doubt. I trusted her and I honored her. And I feel like God, when we are obedient to the leaders in our life, he is also very loyal and, and rewards us for that obedience. And so I'm so grateful that I did because I followed the right cat. So are you copying the right cat? That's number one. And I love that Grisel kind of had that theme too. Number two, I was enthusiastic. I honestly did not know everything, and you may not know everything. And you may be sitting here thinking, I don't know everything and I can't move up because I don't know everything. Well, I will tell you, I did not know everything. But my enthusiasm and my excitement carried me where my knowledge did not. And so what I lacked in skill, I made up for in enthusiasm. And I will tell you that enthusiasm was contagious. Women wanted to be a part of what we were doing. And I wanted them to be a part of it too. And so I said to them, I was always honest and transparent. I just started. I don't necessarily know, but we can learn together. And so whether you are a brand new consultant or a seasoned consultant, don't be scared of what you don't know. Be willing to learn alongside of your people. And so that excitement and that willingness carried me when my skill was still developing, all right? The other thing that I will say is I was consistent. It is not a sexy word. It is not something that people like to talk about because consistency, well, it's just what it is. But every single week, I worked my Mary Kay business. I worked a full-time job. I had a lot of events after work because I was a fundraiser. And I actually loved my job because it was fun. But I loved being able to sprinkle this in. It was like a game. I'm like, okay, where am I going to sprinkle this in today? And sometimes all the time I had was first thing in the morning. And so, but I was willing. I was willing to find that time. And so where can you sprinkle this in? Where can you sprinkle this in your current life so that it will pay you and reward you later on? I'm so grateful for the choices I made back then, to work my business consistently, to not be scared of what I didn't know, and to let my excitement and enthusiasm influence others. And I'm excited that I was willing to put my space in the position of leaders and be obedient to that calling. Because of that, now I have tremendous choices and options I never imagined for my life. And so I hope that you will do the same thing too. So we get to listen to our next speaker. I get to pass it on to my beautiful friend, Sonia. Oh my goodness, we've traveled this road together. I met Sonia at my very first seminar, and I'm excited to have you hear from her.
Well, good morning, ladies. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for waking up early. People that wake up early make more things that they want to sleep super late. Okay, well, I wanted to start by telling you how I started my Mary Kay business. Well, my Mary Kay business, I did not look for the business. God put it on my way. And I was invited to have tea with one of my best friends. And in the process, she was telling me about cars, about money, about so many things that were not catching my attention because at the time, back in 2012, I had my own business. My family and I had a catering business, and we had it for like 20 years already. So, not to brag about it, I was not impressed by the car because I had a good car. But then the last thing that caught my mind was when she said, the Mary Kay has a retirement plan. And my husband and I were always thinking about retirement, what's going to happen when we turn 65, what are we going to do? So that caught my attention. And then she says, well, this is what you do. And, to make a long story short, I signed my agreement. Then after that, it came a Tuesday night when I met Christine. And I met Christine for a new consultant orientation. I went to her house. I remember she was in with everything together. I walked in and I'm like, okay, what did I get myself into? And she started telling me, this is what we're going to do. This is what you have to follow. And I'm like, this girl is super young, is younger than me, and she's telling me what to do. I don't know how I'm going to handle this because, I was my own boss. I had like 22 employees and I was the one telling them what to do. But I decided to start my Mary Kay business. And because I have always been, leading people, I decided to put attention to what she was saying. And this is the first step that we all have to take. Listen to your leaders, because we have been there, and we know perhaps more than a lot of you when it comes to what steps to take. So Christine has a plan, and we follow the plan because she has been a leader and she have done it and over and over and over and over. So, I just follow her, and I put my first order, and here we go. I go to the meeting, and in the meeting I see a bunch of red jackets, and I started learning what a red jacket was. And me, the leader inside me, told me that's where I want to be. And I started listening to the checks, and this one makes this much and this one the other one, and that's where I wanted to be. And then I realized that I didn't want to be there because of me, but I wanted to be there to support all the people that I know that needed this business more than me. And in the process, I learned an excellent thing that I thought I had within me, and is the belief that I had for God. Because I knew that I had God with me all the time, but I was not connecting with him. And in the process, listen to Christine, praying with her, going to prayer meetings with directors and consultants, I learned how to pray, how to talk to God, how to communicate with him. And that is something that I have to tell you, that I'm super blessed with Mary Kay, because Mary Kay tells you family, God first, family second, and career third. And that's exactly what had happened in my family. After becoming a DIQ and learning all the process that I needed to do and finding more and more and more, I realized that if I didn't have God with me the right way, things were not going to work. And I started believing, and I can tell you now, I walk with God every day. Every morning I wake up and I thank him. Every night I go to sleep and I thank him. Everything I do, every day I do it because I trust in him and because I know he's guiding me. And in the process, Mary Kay have taught me how to teach my husband and my family. And we do things at home that we didn't do before. And that is because of Mary Kay. Also, when I decided that I wanted to become a director, I had to make some changes at home, and I had to make some changes at work. And people tell me now, oh, I'm so busy, I cannot do Mary Kay because I'm so busy. I will never be a director because I'm so busy. I cannot be a red because I'm so busy. I can tell you, I had a business, and it was catering. Is a lot. You have to plan weddings, and you have to plan with somebody else's money, and it's not easy. But Mary Kay gives you more pleasure. It gives you more rewarding. You can help people. And what I did was I got together with my husband and my kids, and I told them, this is what I'm going to do. I am going to become a director, and I need your support. So I grabbed an agenda, and I grabbed a book, and I started writing from here to here. This is what I'm going to do. And I posted a board in my refrigerator so my people will know what days I was available for them and what days I was not. I started to scheduling the Mary Kay business. I started to scheduling the Mary Kay, and I started working, and that's what I did. Work with intention. And then at that point, I totally forgot that the young girl that had that met with me that day and told me, this is what we're going to do. It was younger than me. I put all those, ridiculous thoughts that I had aside, and I started listening, and I started being more humble, because you need to be humble. You need to concentrate and grab the horse really hard and jump with it and go with it. Don't be afraid. In the process, we all learn. You're not going to know everything right away, but in the process, you will learn what it takes, to be a leader with Mary Kay. And then in the process, you make money. And then when my husband started looking at the checks and at the money and everything, he started, looking at the change, because this that you see here was not like that, like this before. Before was a lipstick, and the lipstick, it was for my cheeks, and it was sometimes for my eyes, and a mascara, and that was my makeup, and I was done. And now it's different. Now I'm learning more and more every day about makeup and skincare. And, basically what I did was I work with intention. I follow my leader. I decided that even if somebody was telling me, no, you cannot do it, I was going to do it because I had to believe within me. And that's what I tell my girls, believe in yourself. You can do whatever you want to do. if you really believe in yourself and you follow your leader. And then I have to tell you that I'm very thankful, because in the process of doing everything that I was doing, my husband had open heart surgery. And if it wasn't because of Mary Kay, I would have not been able to stay with him all the days he was in a coma and all the days after recuperation. So I have a big passion for Mary Kay, and I'm super thankful for Mary Kay, because you see that God has a perfect time for everything, and he put me on the right way for this life. He's preparing me for this life. And I was home now for a whole year, not having a catering business anymore, and being able to support my family and to help my husband support our home. And that's what I did. And that's what I love about Mary Kay. And at the end, it's just working with intention, planning, working, making a phone call. And if you don't know, ask. And that's what I did. And this is my life. And this is my story with Mary Kay. And I wanted to tell you that if you ever need anything, even if I'm not your director, I'm here. You can count with me. Like I know I can count with all my sisters director. And by that talking, I want to introduce you to Mabel, one of my great sisters director with a great attitude, and admire her. There you go, Mabel. Take it.
Hi, ladies. Hello, hello. Okay, so if you're thinking, why choose leadership? Like, why choose leadership? I want to tell you something. You ladies that are on this call right now, you were chosen. You were chosen by your director. You were chosen because something she saw in you. And you might think, oh my gosh, I don't even know if I have these leadership skills in me. Okay, like you might be like, oh my gosh, what does she see in me? I don't even know if I can do this. I want to tell you that that voice that came to your director to see you and to see your strengths are coming from a bigger place. I truly believe that God handpicks all of his leaders. I feel like I hear a voice. Oh, that's my voice. I'm having my own feedback. Okay, so I want to tell you that I really feel that God handpicks every single one of his leaders, whether you see it or not. And so there is something about that your director sees those strengths in you. And sometimes you might even be thinking, like, I know I kind of have moments of this where I'm like, a leader in Mary Kay, like, like, what does that mean? And I want to share with you that, my friend, sometimes we can't see beyond like this. We only see what's in front of us, and you don't know what's going to happen a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, and who God is shaping you to be. And I truly believe, sometimes I look back in my life and all the steps, all this, from being a theater major, a teacher, like the men I've dated, the men I married, right? Like looking at all the steps in my life, knowing that every single thing that has happened to me, God had a little chisel and was chiseling away at the creation that you are meant to be, right? And so every little step, sometimes simply saying yes to Red Jacket, saying yes to directorship. You don't know where this is going to lead. One of the best things that I love about this, and hearing all my sister directors speak before me, is this. Sometimes I've heard women not only say, oh my gosh, I was able to leave my career and have my dream job of being a full-time Mary Kay director, but I've also have a bunch of Mary Kay sisters that being a leader in Mary Kay has taught them that they are a leader, period, exclamation point, exclamation point. So they became principals. They became leaders in their churches. They became leaders in their careers. They became leaders in their family, because all of these skill sets and this being molded in who you're going to be is not just going to affect your Mary Kay business. It's going to affect every single thing in your life. So sometimes just saying yes to something that you might be thinking, leadership to Mary Kay, my friend, that could mean so much that we just cannot see what God is intending for us in the future. So I say that with you because I want to encourage you that sometimes if you're thinking, oh my gosh, but what if I fail? But what if my fear? What if I can't do it? Oh my gosh, this is overwhelming. I promise you, just say yes, because in that process, you're going to learn so much more about who you are. So when did that flip happen with me? I went, just like many of my sister directors just shared, I didn't know anything about leadership. I joined, I didn't even know that was a thing, okay? And I was like, oh my gosh, how cute. Like sell a little something on the side and make money and, get 50% off on my own stuff. But it was actually just like Mari. On my first meeting, I went and I saw my recruiter as a red jacket. And immediately the competitiveness in me was like, whatever you could do, I could do. As simple as that. If you could do it, I could do it. Not because of her, but just in general. If anyone could do it, I could do it too, right? And so I was like, okay, whatever I got to do, be a red jacket. And in that same meeting, we had, back in the day before COVID, we used to meet in person and we had the director lineup. And I remember all the directors in their beautiful suits sharing their highest love check. I've never been in a situation in my life where women shared like, oh my gosh, this is what I've made. And I remember being so inspired and so impressed and seeing this big picture of what Mary Kay meant. That same day of that first meeting, I called my husband and I was talking his ear off for like an hour and a half about how inspired I was. And that day I knew that I couldn't just be a consultant. I had to join those amazing women. And sometimes God puts these dreams in you. I really believe that dreams and visions come from God, because it was just like if someone turned on a light and filled me up with this warm soup. And I was so glowing and happy and excited to be a part of these women. And I didn't know how. I had no idea how to do it. I just knew one thing. I needed to put women in front of my director. If you've caught any theme from today, is to use the greatest tool that came in your virtual starter kit, which is your sales director. Guys, that was it. I was like, listen, if I can be honest with you, this is how kind of I saw it. Like, this is how Mabel thinks sometimes. I thought, let's do this. Like, I bought you in my starter kit, so I'm gonna use this resource. And so I remember I just kind of every single meeting, I never lost an opportunity to put people in front of my director. So how can that look like here in your virtual world, right? Every winning Wednesday, are you bringing people? Every winning Wednesday. It does not matter if they have a pulse and they have air in their lungs, invite them to a winning Wednesday. I would invite everyone and everyone's mother, as we say, right? Everyone and everyone's mother to be in front of my director. And I would just watch how she would talk to them, because it wasn't just about bringing them to the meetings. I also wanted to see how she spoke to them after. And that is how I learned as well. So that's the first thing. Once I got into red jacket, I just thought step by step, ladies. So if you're thinking, how do I jump from consultant to director? Think step by step. I went from red jacket to CAR qualification and then DIQ. I just worked it step by step. So as I wrap up, I want to share with you my 4 top tips, okay? 1, notice that you're a leader and that you have been chosen and then you're anointed. 2, every single opportunity, put people in front of your director. Don't lose that opportunity. It doesn't matter who. Put them in front of there. 3, always have a follow-up with your director. Always, 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 until you become a director, always have a follow-up with your director. Always. Don't just invite them to Winning Wednesday. Be like, okay, so now we're going to do a phone call with my director. Tip number 4, and do dream chats like crazy with everyone. And this is the last tip. The last tip is this. Assume that everyone wants to join. Here is so simple. Sometimes we're afraid to ask because we're going, oh, but she won't need this. Or you were so embarrassed. I'm just going to put this super simple. If you joined Mary Kay, others will join Mary Kay. And that's as simple as I thought. I go, well, if I joined Mary Kay and I'm into this, so is everyone else. So that just wraps up. I'm going to lead it now to my sister director, Pam.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Mabel. She's my twin. We debuted the same day, December 1st. So I'm so excited to be here. It's been fun going down memory lane with everybody, kind of going through what you were thinking and doing when you were in Red and DIQ. And for me, that wasn't that long ago. When Mary Kay found me again, I'm a recommitted Mary Kay consultant. So that was in June of 2019. when Griselle and I talked about joining again. And I had no desire to be in leadership at all. I had been there, done that. I didn't become a director, but I had tried and failed. And so I was living in the fear of no belief in myself that I could do it. So that was not even on my radar. But at my debut, which Christine and Griselle were there, 3 women signed up, and I thought, oh, I did not want this. I wasn't going to go here, but okay, so let's do this. So that's how I begrudgingly started Mary Kay, not believing in myself. And all these directors will tell you, because all the way through my journey, everything was about believing in myself. And Lisa told me, oh, sorry, there goes my phone. Lisa had told me one time, you have to stop living in the past. Do not let your past dictate your future. And that really, really was it for me, because when I was in my red jacket, I saw myself in my red jacket. That I could never see myself going further from that. I liked that. I liked the recognition, and I liked having the prizes. Was very prize motivated, and perhaps that's you. I always did the challenges because I liked the prizes, but I never wanted to go further. I have 5 kids. I homeschooled all my kids, and I have a very busy spiritual life, and I couldn't see doing it all, but that was a mind shift. So and I'll tell you when that changed, because during COVID, I always did what my Griselle, my director, put in front of us, and she had a coffee club. So at the end of seminar, we had a really good end of seminar year. And we all, there was like 4 of us on my team that really went for it. And we reached this Cadillac Coffee Club, and we got to hear from amazing director, and that was really what did it. When she was talking, I was like, how are you doing it? How are you able to do God first, family second, career third? Because I couldn't see it in myself, like how I could do that and shift. So she said, you have to get up early. And I said, I want to get up early. I had a routine. I had what I thought was no time to do directorship. I was a team leader at the end of seminar last year, and I thought there's no way I could fit in one more thing. How could I do that? And she said, get up early, and you have to be intentional, and you have to do the work. And so the next day it started, and I got up early every day since then. And I was able to shift. It was a mind shift, so that once I was able to put my priorities in place and get rid of the things that didn't serve me, watching the Today Show every day and drinking coffee from my bed was my routine. I loved it, but it didn't serve me. So I had to make a mind shift and do the things that did serve me. I was doing the work, and many of you probably are, because you're here. So just keep doing the work and shift your mind to believe that you can do it. And it really is, I don't want to say simple, but it's got to start from inside. And that was really what it was for me. And I know that I had to get my family on board in order to go through DIQ. There was no way. It was like too busy of a household. So I had to get my children to start cooking. I have 3 teens. I had 3 young people at home. One now just got married, so he's gone. But through DIQ, they learned to cook. They shopped. I didn't tell them they had to do that, but they did. And they're all really great cooks now. So that was really a blessing for everybody. Everybody got on board. But I just want to tell you that you might be doing the work, but now start believing that you can do it. All these other amazing tips from these directors are to always go for star, always show up, do the 30 faces. You can do it. Believe in yourself and stop living in the past. That was what I did. And you really just want to be intentional and do what serves you. And I think you can do it. You can do it too. There is many places here for all you to join us. And we are excited to see you reach for red and beyond. So now I'm going to turn it over to our fearless future National Sales Director, Christine.
Just kidding. There you go. I've been emotional. I've been inspired. I've had tears to see these women grow. My greatest aha moment this week, I was thinking to myself, God, why have you called me to become a national? And it's to see women grow. And I'm looking at you, whatever eyes you have on me, the 20 of you that are watching, and the ones that watch the playback, I love seeing you grow. Every single one of these women have grown into something more. Their belief in God has grown, their belief in themselves has grown, and the people around them have grown because of this decision. So I'm calling you, because the thing is that, none of you have at all, none of us have reached our fullest potential. Not one of us have arrived. And there is a reason that you're here right now. This is not by chance that you were picked here. This is not by chance. And I'm not talking about how are you feeling about your business. Oh, I don't feel like I can do it. This is not about, this is moving forward. Today, moving forward, who will you become? Who will you step into? For me, I, like these women, I did not see myself as a director. I did not. I remember the moment I saw the position of leadership. I remember the moment I noticed leadership. That was a leadership retreat with Daisha and Ari. And I'm like, oh, that looks good, but I don't know if I can be them. And I remember my decision was made after a career conference, which ours is coming up. I'll show you the flyer before we go, April 23rd and 24th. April 23rd and 24th, I just gave you 2 dates because Lisa mentioned Leaders Show Up, March 6th, right? Driven Rally, April 23rd and 24th, non-negotiable. I showed up because my director kept calling me and asking me. And I registered early before the emotion set in of disappointment. And I'm glad I showed up because that was the pivotal event. This might be your pivotal event. I don't care what's happening around you. My kids are screaming right now in the other room. They're gonna have to wait. And I need you to just, in the moment right now, receive this. Today can be that day for you. Today moving forward, not tomorrow, not on Monday, not next week, because the emotion will be gone by then. I need you to think today moving forward. And that event, I saw so many directors. I thought, if that many directors can do this, if these 8 women can do this, and we're all so totally different, as you can see, in such a great way, I realized, if that many women can do this, why can't I? Why can't I? And I realized in that moment, I wasn't playing full out. I owed it to myself and to this opportunity to play full out, because to be in this company and not go for the best was not using my full gifts and talents that God gave me. And so to sum it up for you, I'm going to give you the 2 things why I moved up. Number 1, a quote from Gloria Mayfield Banks. This is a summary of my thoughts on why I moved up. Your playing small doesn't serve the world. Don't pick that personal. I took it personal for me. My playing small didn't serve the Lord, didn't serve the world, wasn't serving anybody. My playing small. And the second quote that makes me think of why I moved up is, if you've been given the gift of leadership, for God's sake, lead. For his sake, lead. With this past year, it's so easy to get lost and to play small or to just stay in survival mode. But we're calling out the women that we know are not just survivors, but are thrivers, because you've stuck it through in one of the craziest years. Maybe you started in this crazy year. Maybe you showed up, or maybe you stuck it through in this crazy year and change. And whatever season, we're almost in a year mark since all of the change. And here's the thing. Here's what changed for me. Ready? Number 1, I made a decision to take the emotion out. The no's didn't mean they didn't like me. The no's, the unresponsiveness, I decided to not take it personal. This is the business. Remove those Christine emotions and getting sad about so-and-so not wanting to do a party for me. Move on. Move on. There's somebody else. There's millions of women out there in your city. Go find somebody else, right? There's enough people. Secondly, I heard it already. I reached up. I literally reached up. I had a pivotal conversation with my director in a raw, authentic moment with tears and all about what was holding me back. I had to talk it through with somebody. My husband now, my boyfriend then, didn't fully understand what I was going through and the emotions. My parents didn't understand. I wasn't, I just need to talk to somebody who got me and who got this and who knew the business and have a real, authentic conversation. Next, I became a student. You heard Grisel mention this. I studied the process. I wasn't booking good enough. I wasn't coaching well enough. Things were falling through. I was kind of like just doing it halfway, and it wasn't enough to get to the next level, which brings me to my next one. To get to somewhere different, we have to do something different. I got clear with myself that I wasn't doing enough. I wasn't doing enough. I was disappointed with the results I wasn't getting, but because I wasn't working enough numbers. I wasn't working enough numbers to see the results that I wanted. So I couldn't say that this didn't work. I just wasn't doing enough. So I got real with myself and I made some decisions to book every day. Every single day. I made a decision to book 2 a day every single day, no matter how uncomfortable, no matter if it was split between this time, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes here, if it was whatever time it was, I had a list ready, and no matter where I was going, I was going to book 2 a day. Also, I made a commitment that I would at minimum see every week 7 to 10 faces, and every month 30 faces. Now virtually, like Mercy said, never been easier. 7 to 10 faces a week. So that wasn't like right now, Saturday, who am I going to see this week? I'm not booking for next month. I'm not booking for March. Who am I going to see this week? Even if you have 10 bookings for March, it doesn't matter. Who am I seeing this week? There are 7 days left in this month. Who am I seeing now? My focus was intentional. Who am I calling today? Who am I seeing this week? Who am I? And I'm getting to my 30 every month. That was like right now, not non-negotiable, new normal. Right. So I think that, and it was those were the things that made me really see different results from where I was. And so, right now you're all invited. Something someone said moved you. I know it did because it moved me. And I've been in for 12 years. So I know you were moved. It took me back to the emotions I was feeling. Like somebody here spoke to you, like to your being. You could relate to them. You felt their emotion. You saw wow, that's me. Or, hey, I can relate to that. So I need you to ask yourself some questions as we close. And I challenge you to have that raw, authentic conversation with your director, to pick, hey, listen, I need 5 minutes of your time. I need when can we talk today, tomorrow, Monday, the latest, today? When can we talk? And I want to share with you these things on my heart. These are the things on my heart. Tell her what your greatest fears have been, your deepest fears. No one else will understand. No one else will cheer you on more. No one else will believe in you more. I know your family may or may not be your number one supporter on this, but no one will believe in you more in this business than your director, period. Because nobody knows it more. Nobody knows what it takes more, right? And so as you think of this March 6th date and moving to the next level, or as this next 4 months, as we're going to the close of this year, the strongest part of this year, ask yourself these questions and talk to your director about these specific questions. You heard our leaders talk about the defining moment. The why moment. Why now? Why did they decide to become directors or red jackets or team leaders or senior consultants? I don't know where you are in the career path, but whether you're brand new and want to become a senior by March 1st and become a red in qualification, you want to become a red by March 6th, for this driven rally. You want to become a director by June 30th. I don't know where you are, but there was always a deciding moment. Did you hear that they didn't feel ready first? Well, they didn't feel ready. They just made a decision. And you don't feel ready first and then step into action. Get this clear. They got into action, made a decision, and the confidence came. And then the results came. And then the people showed up when they were ready. The people show up when you're ready because you're different. You speak different. You talk different. You book differently. Trust me. How you've been booking is different when you make a decision. It's different because there's urgency, because there's confidence, because there's belief. And that attracts different results, always. So you may have thought you've been booking, but when you book with that conviction and decision, it always comes across different whether you know it or not, right? So talk to your director about that. So why? My question for you, and share with her, why should you? Why can you? What are those gifts you have? Why can you? What experience do you bring to the table? What passions and gifts do you bring to the table? Why should you? Why can you? And if you knew you could not fail, and that, if you knew that you have the support of your leader, what would you dare to do in the next 4 months? What would you dare to do in the next 4 months? What would you dare to do in the next 7 days, 8 days? What would you dare to do in the next 24 hours? What would you dare to do? And my question for you is, why now? Here's what when talking to potential team members, and if you've been in this business long enough, you had that talk with somebody who said, oh, but later, I can see this for the future. There's nothing more, I think, like as a leader seeing the outside, I'm like, there's never a good time. This is not a good time for anybody, for anything. Is it ever a good time to have a baby? Probably not. Ever a good time to plant a tree? Never. Ever a good time to move to a new home? It's always a inconvenient time. There's never a good time for anything. Never a good time for a sickness. Never a good time for there's never a good time. So now is always the best time, because you might not have this opportunity later. You might be in a different place later where you might not even, I don't know. But all I know is in that moment, I'm like, if I don't do this now, I might never try. So I want to challenge you. Why now? What about now? Ask your director. Talk with her. Why stepping up now? What about now is significant for you? Who will be the most impacted in your family, in yourself? What would change in your life if you did this right now? I know you could do it later. I know you could do it next year. But why should you do it now? Right? And I want you, if you ever forget and have that doubt set in, like many of us talked about mindset and belief. I love that Pam closed with that, mindset and belief. I bring you the names of our area. I've got all the names of our area here. The women that are in this, that you just heard from, the team names, the DNA that you come from. I want you to remember that you are fabulous. That's Mercy's team. That your blood is pink, those pink submarines. That you're a stepper, you step up, the pink steppers. That you're a go-getter, Grisel's team. That you're a powerful performer, Pam's team. That you're a bold believer, right? That you are worthy. That you're fearlessly dreaming big. You all come with the DNA. You're all uniquely made. You all have a talent. You all have a gift. You all have something to offer, and your leader is ready for you. Your leader is ready for you. You may not feel ready, but she's ready for you. And I promise you, when you take that next step, you will feel more ready. So have that conversation, because every time I've moved up, it's been in those intimate conversations with myself and the people who believed in me most. I shed tears in front of Daisha. I've shed tears in front of Ari. I've shed tears in front of my recruiter, Roxy. And in those moments were the moments where I was like, okay, help me grow. Don't leave me. Love me enough to not leave me where I'm at. I am ready. I don't know how I feel. I'm not sure if I'm going to fall flat on my face, but you know what? I'm willing to bet on myself, and I'm willing to hold me by the hand, and I'm willing to grow with you. So with that said, our playing small, my playing small doesn't serve the world. I challenge you, and I invite you, and I include you. I'm going to share that screen with you about those 2 dates again, the March 6th Driven Rally, and we'll bring up our leaders, March 6th Driven Rally, and the April 24th, oh, hold on, let me see, there it is. The April 24th, I want you to have these dates, because leaders have their dates written. April 23rd and 24th is a career conference. Save the date. And I challenge you to be in the next position, to be in the next level, to be in the next, go in as a DIQ, go in as an elite, go beyond, show up as a director. My goodness, what would that do for your confidence, for your belief, for your team? Show up in the next level. And as you saw here, the Driven Rally, the first benchmark, Driven Rally in 2 weeks. What will you do in the next 7 days? What will you do in the next 24 hours to step into the best you? Let's bring up our leaders. Let me bring them up so we can see they are so powerful, you guys. It has been an honor. Text your director right now. I need to have a conversation with you, even if you're confused and not even sure what this means. But we will invite you to have that conversation, and you are invited. We see you. We believe in you, and you are the right girl for this job right now. Do not doubt it. We love you guys. We're going to send all of us, we're going to do our way. You're going to mute, ladies, and we can send our love, fearless love for all of you. We believe in you. You're powerful. Purpose, day, and 7 days. And you will see you March 6th at the top. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.